Sure. Skittles are good. Tried the gummies yet? You tried the gummies yet? Can't find them? You ain't looking hard enough. I don't know a guy. No. I don't even think they're on the hauler anymore.
You guys can go together.
Who?
Coy.
Coy, get up here. Let's go. Come on. Thanks. Had a girl.
All right, well, we're going to get started here. We are now joined by our race winner, Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 M&M's Minis Toyota. Also, the Joe Gibbs Racing Vice Chairman and COO, Coy Gibbs. We will get right into questions here for the two of them. Please raise your hand, and we will get started back here with Kyle.
Kyle Mag, the Rowdy Mag Light Racing Media. I have one for Kyle and one for Coy. First for Kyle, can you talk a little bit about that 4-car pack you were in? Did you know how much fuel you were saving? And, did the draft help a lot with you with trying to make it to the end there like you did right before you ran out of the start-finish line?
Yeah, so we were in that pack, and I was kind of a little bit farther behind of it than I wanted to be. I thought we were too far back, and so I tried to close in once, and then those guys stretched it back out, and then I fell off and then tried to close it back in again, and then that time I was able to kind of stay closer, stay more attached, and felt like I was doing a good job saving fuel while doing all of that. I felt like I did a better job saving fuel when I got closer to them, because as much as they were rolling out of the gas, then I was rolling out of the gas down the straightaways, and we were all saving, and if we were laps ahead of them on fuel, then we were going to be we were either going to be able to be let go earlier than them and race it out to the finish, or we were just going to be, more beneficial to being in the draft, being back in the draft.
And for Coy, can you talk a little bit about your son Ty, his progression so far, with how much success he's already had in the Xfinity Series and also in the ARCA Series as well?
Yeah, I'd like to. It's probably the good genes he has that we handed down. No, I was a terrible driver. Kyle can testify to that. You were actually young when I was coming up. You just came in.
I was 16, yeah.
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 They actually banned you.
That's right. Yeah. I'm glad you remember that.
No, it's been good. I mean, you don't know how good anyone is until you stick them up in there, and we probably would have changed what we're doing, what he's racing this year if we knew he could run that good. So it's been a pleasant surprise. I'm obviously happy for him, proud as his father, and it's fun to watch him grow.
Head up here.
Kyle, Shane Hector from WBGR Sports. During the course of the race and with the transmission issue, what is a time during the race had made you regain the confidence to come back and make the win?
You don't ever really know. But when we left pit road, that was it. Like the clutch was gone. There was no more. So I wasn't sure that I'd be able to make it down pit road again and be able to leave. With just my guys behind me pushing me, even when I left that last time, it was smoking. I don't know what was smoking, but probably the clutch, because the clutch was fried, was smoking. But fortunately, we were just able to get back around and get the restart timed right, and then just kind of start picking them off. And we knew we were going to be close. We came down that last time to top off to put us within a lap and a half of being able to make it to the end. And I think I've been in that same situation here a few years ago, and we ran out of gas on the last lap coming out of turn 2, and we weren't able to win. So it was a little bit of, vindication that we came back from that one to be able to win this one. So just kept fighting through it, I mean, when you're in all those different positions and situations, you have no clue what's going on around you. The crew chief can kind of tell the story, and the spotter can tell the story, and they were, and I was asking them to tell me the story, because at first they were like, it's just you and the 23 that's going to be able to make it. And then all of a sudden, now the 11's going to try to make it. Now the 5's going to try to make it. Well, now the 1's going to try to make it. And it's like, guys, come on, give me the facts here. Give me the story, right? And now the 24 is going to try to make it. So a lot of guys were stretching it and trying to see if they could make it. But this place is just so big around. And with this aero package being so draggy, you can't really lift early getting into the corners and save fuel. It's very, very hard to do. So we were just fortunate enough to be in that right position, being in the 4th spot of that draft.
All right, Dustin.
Dustin Albino, jski.com. Kyle, have you ever had a previous instance where you're stuck in 4th gear ever?
Not that I can recall. No.
Not at all.
No.
And then you were caught singing on the radio a couple times today. What's your karaoke song of choice?
Yeah.
Be careful.
It's well, it fits well with what's on my chest here. Slim Shady.
All right, we'll head to Zach.
Zach Stern, yellow front stretch. Kyle, how badly do you feel like you guys needed this weekend? Obviously, it's been a good stretch here, 4 top fives now in your last 5 races. But so it's not like you've been out to lunch. But to end the Hendrick domination, and for you yourself to go second yesterday, first today, what does it say about where you and your team are at right now?
Well, this is a really, really good place for us. We've been fortunate to be fast here since probably 2014, 15 timeframe. And we've carried that on through to today. So we have a really good baseline package of what we know how to work off of. And as the aero packages change, the tires change, all that stuff sort of changes. You have to change a little bit as well too. But our guys do a really good job of coming here with really fast stuff. And so we were same thing this weekend. We were fast. The Hendrick cars were still faster yesterday for sure through the corners. Never really ran with them, raced with them much today. I guess I did the 24 there for a little bit when I was stuck behind a 3. He couldn't pass me either. So I mean, I guess again today we were pretty quick, but overall, just this is a good place for us. So we like coming here and having good runs. Last week was not so good for us. So that was we did have that flat tire that knocked us all the way back, but still, I don't think we're going to finish much better than 12th-ish. Anyway.
And then on Friday, I saw that you, Brexton, went down to Snydersville Raceway over here, local dirt track. What was it like just being able to, on the road, still find a local dirt track where you can get out and spend some time with him?
Yeah, no, it was fun. Friday night, we went over to Snydersville, and back up. He didn't have any racing this weekend, so we were like, let's find him more racing, I guess. That was a dad thing. Pulled some strings with Mom. But called Hirschman, and Tony Hirschman's from around here, and asked him about calling around and seeing what tracks were available and if there was a car available. So he did that with the promoter at Snydersville, and that guy helped us out find a car. Fortunately, we got that guy he still had his car because he was ready to sell it, and he thought he had it sold last week. But fortunately, we still had it this week, so we went over, got fitted, got him ready to go. Finished second in his race Friday, and then finished second twice again yesterday. And so I finished second twice yesterday, and so the Bushes came up here with a lot of seconds, and so we did not want to leave today with another second. So fortunately, it worked out for us.
All right, we'll head to Bob Pockers.
Bob Hockers, Fox Sports. Is there any part of you that enjoys the challenge of fuel mileage racing?
Yes and no. It's stressful, that's for sure. Like, you just don't know. I mean, there's so many variables and there's so many unknowns. And, some of the guys, like even me, like as we're going down the front straightaway, I'm like, damn, I wish I could clutch it. I didn't have one, So I probably could have done a better job saving fuel, but I was just lifting off the gas and the thing's sitting here going, wah, instead of being able to clutch it. So that was yeah, I mean, just that's how fuel mileage races are, It's fun to a point, especially when you come out on top of it and you do it right. That makes you feel good. There was one other fuel mileage race last year, yeah. Texas. That's how we won at Texas. So that was a good one for us. Same today. Is that the only? Thanks, Bob. Thanks. Well, right. Fortunately, if you look at the metrics, I think we had the fastest car. So we did have that over them, at least, where we had the fastest car. So it was just a matter of being in the right position at the right time. I could have beat him yesterday, but Kyle Larson didn't push me far enough into turn 1, and I think the 12 pushed the 48 farther, and that's how he got slid up in front of me. So it's racing. Racing's racing.
All right, we'll head to Zach.
Anything for Coy?
No,
Anybody? Anything else for Coy?
I already paid him off.
We'll let Coy go then.
Please.
We will. Yeah. Thank you, Kyle.
No problem. He's bored. He's got a plane to catch. Don't keep the old man here longer than you have to.
Okay,
For Coy?
No.
Okay, yeah, go.
go ahead.
You're welcome.
Just as far as sponsorship goes for Ty, obviously still a blank car right now. What's that situation like? And is that more of a just waiting to get offers for what he's proving his worth right now, or is that something, or What's the situation there?
I was hoping Kyle would step up, but that hasn't happened. No, it was.
You've got those
it's
competing
awkward.
guys.
Yeah, it's awkward when you have a limited schedule, and you don't know how he's going to do, so you're not pushing it real hard. So you miss the budgets, you miss all the dates. So it'd be something we're pushing pretty hard next year on. Hopefully, we can get some money on him.
Well, fortunately, he's not like his dad. He's got great hair, so I think they should go sell
They
sport
should.
clips for him, and
I
that
have
could be a
I have
full-time
little
deal.
bit. I have a little bit.
Yeah, see? I know how to do this, but I'm not upper management, so I don't get to make those calls.
I think he does have one coming up.
Huh?
I think they took one.
There you go, see?
Yeah.
I'm not the only one that thought of it.
Kyle's on it.
What else?
All right. Any other questions for Coy before we let him go? No. Okay. We'll head right here.
I get to leave.
Coy Shane at the WBGR Sports. So for Ty coming in second and just falling just a little bit short, do you feel like his confidence is shaken, or do you feel like his confidence has gone up a little bit, considering he came in second?
I think when you're, and I drove and I was terrible, so I had no confidence ever. But I think you get to a point as a driver where you're good enough, and then it just becomes, hey, do we have the right setup? Do we have the right equipment? And then, I think he's kind of getting to that point where he slipped up once and let Cindric by, and that probably was it, honestly. So he can go back. I don't think he stresses out about it like he used to when he was younger. Maybe.
Like 3 months ago?
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, Coy, thank you so much for taking some time with us. Kyle, we're going to have you stick around for a little bit, and we'll go to Zach.
Okay, bye.
Zachatan's ready, kickthetires.net. Just piggybacking off Chris from earlier, you were catching the 11 pretty quick there before he ran out of fuel. Looked like it was going to be a heads-up fight between you guys before he ran out. Were you confident that you were going to be able to get that pass done? Like, where do you think that was going to go out?
Yeah, I was. We were really close. We were kind of mirroring each other. I could gain on him in turn 2 and kind of stay equal to him in 3, and then he would get a little bit on me getting into turn 1. Excuse me. Just because I felt like I was trying to still save a little bit being behind him, so I would kind of let him throw it off in there, and he would really push off a turn 1. So I felt like he was going to burn his front tires up, with the remaining laps left. So hopefully I could get by him, get a chance to get by him. And when we went down from 2 to 3, coming to the white, we went from 2 to 3, and I had a run on him off of 2 and was looking low, and then he blocked low, and then I went back high, and he really didn't come back to block up high. And I threw it in on his outside and was like, all right, this is it, but I'm going to take it. And then he was coming to pit road. So I don't know if he just positioned himself low, so then I didn't block his opportunity to get to pit road, so that might have been what went down there. So he was already out. So I had no idea that was going down. But overall, just once I got my quarter panel, my front fender to his quarter panel, that's kind of when I knew that I had him.
And having just Brexton and Samantha here, I know that was something tough last year that a lot of drivers weren't able to really appreciate or just have. So having them here for a win, in 2021, how does that really add to the celebration with not just you and your team, but, the families here? No,
it's cool because, we get the opportunity to spend weekends together for a little bit. And obviously, Brex is kind of on his own racing career, if you will, a little bit, doing some go-kart stuff all the time. And this was an off weekend for him, but we still found some stuff for him to do. And we were up till midnight on Friday night, up till 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday driving home. So we were giving it our full effort that we could, and he did a good job. So he had fun, and all these kids at the racetrack, they have a good time with one another and play with one another, race against each other. So it's fun to see that. I never really had that as a kid growing up. And so just having the families back, though, is good. Earlier today, some of the M&M's family was here, and we hung out with those guys and their kids and stuff. So Brexton got to hang out with. They're all the same age, so they got to hang out, which was fun.
All right, we'll head back here and then up to Scott and Jim.
Keith Gruller from the Allentown Morning Call. Just a two-parter. One would be just your overall impression of the double-header concept, especially here at Pocono. The second part would be, since I'm from Tony Hirschman's hometown paper, if you can give me something on Tony and his role and with you and especially today's victory.
Yeah, so double headers. my personal opinion, with as much as the schedule's kind of changed over the last couple of years and what all's been going on with different racetracks and such, and fans' reception to coming and supporting some of those racetracks, we don't need to go to any racetrack more than once. You know what I mean? Spread the wealth. That's my opinion. I like how we're able to take a date from Dover, go to Nashville. You know, I don't know why we don't go to Chicago still, and we go to Atlanta twice. That was dumb. I don't know why we don't go to Kentucky. You know, apparently that governor's pretty pissed off. That wasn't a smart move. So just, you know, going to these places, you still want to be able to spread the wealth around a little bit. And some of these places, I mean, Kentucky, I can see where the fans might be a little upset about Kentucky is the traffic situation. The first year was really bad, but, you know, as it fizzles out and everybody figures it out, it'll get better over time. Texas, I don't know how many guys were at Texas for the first few at Texas, right? I mean, that thing was horrendous. I'm sure Dustin was there. You know, so it was quite interesting, just the horror stories. I wasn't there, but the horror stories you heard about it. So anyway, that's my opinion. Like, we should just go to every place once, find a couple more places that we can go to, and spread the wealth. Second question was about Hirschman. Yeah, he's terrible. He sucks. I don't know how he's made it this long. You know, every September time frame, he always texts me and says, "Hey man, are we still good for next year?" And I'm like, "What is that supposed to mean? Are you quitting?" And he's like, "No, I thought you were going to fire me." And I'm like, "Well, I was close." No, he's done a great job. Hirschman and I, we've come to understand each other. And, you know, when I have my bad days, he takes it with a grain of salt. He lets it roll off the back, you know. So that's always good when you can have guys like that don't take it personal or anything. But he does a good job. You know, I like Tony. Tony's a racer. His dad's a racer. His brother, Matt, is obviously one of the superstars in the modified ranks and just kicks everybody's butt every time they go somewhere. So it's cool to see those guys still be successful all the time. I think they raced last night. How'd he do? Do you know? Matt didn't do good? All right, well, I take that back. More times than not, he's winning. So it's fun to watch those guys. But, you know, Tony's good help and a good resource, a good guy to lean on, and probably is one of the reasons why I lost here on yesterday in the truck race. He spotted for John Hunter, so that pissed me off.
All right, we'll head up here to Scott.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times-Tribune. Kyle, when the transmission is, do you have to do anything in the car, hold it in place, drive it with one hand? Can you kind of maybe just describe that process a little bit with what you have to do when you've got a bad shifter like that?
So the first thing that happened was I was just rolling around under yellow and scrubbing my tires, getting ready for the restart, and it popped out of gear. And I was like, okay, well, that's weird. So, you know, I put it in third was fine. I put it in second was fine. Put it back in third was fine. Put it back in fourth, and it popped out again. So I was like, well, damn, I don't know if I'm going to be able to run around here the rest of the day and hold this thing in. Like, it took some brute force to hold that thing back, to hold it in. So when we took the green on the restart, everything was fine. Shifting gears, getting it into fourth was fine. And then, you know, I'm holding it down the backstretch, getting into turn 2, and chaos ensued, and I got loose, and I don't remember what all happened in that moment exactly. But I came off of 2, and I'm like, I can't do this. I got to let go. So I let go of the shifter and started making laps, and everything was fine. It stayed in gear. And then it comes to the point of the next caution comes out, and I go to hit the shifter just to see what's wrong or what's going on with it, and it is stuck. Like, it's welded in fourth gear. It will not wiggle. It won't move, nothing. And so I was like, okay, well, that's, you know, they were like, okay, we'll come down pit road. And I'm like, yeah, what pit road speed? We don't have pit road speed for fourth gear, you know? So I was like, what do you want? I don't have lights. I got nothing. And so they were like, all right, just do 2,500. And I'm like, I don't even have a readout that says 2,500. You know, I had this little, there's a bar graph basically, and it just floats with a green light on how much RPM you have. So I just watched that as close as I could and tried not to speed. Larson was pushing me. He was behind me on that one. So I was holding him up a little bit, but I didn't want to speed. And just that was it. The rest of the day, it was locked in. So I guess it was better I don't know if it was better that it was locked in than me having to hold it, but maybe it was. So I don't know.
And in a weird way, could you say the transmission problem won you the race because you were on the pit road a little extra time to get the fuel tank topped off? Kind of weird how one problem
Yep.
led to victory.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we would never have been in that position if we didn't have the trans stuck. And when we came down for the green flag stop, and I tried to exit pit road, it was really luggy. Obviously, I lost tons of time doing that. And then when we came down that last time to top off, that was it. Like the clutch was gone when I left. It was smoking. It was burned up. There was no more left in that. So we got all we could get out of it, with everything that was going on right there. But you're right. Yeah, it put us in the perfect spot that we were topped off, because we were like, look, we just put as much gas in it as we can, pack that thing full, and we're going to run it out the rest of the day. I mean, even if there was another caution that came out, we weren't going to come down pit road, but we were just going to have to see what ensued.
Jim Utter.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. You mentioned earlier in the race, before your shifter issues on your radio, and then mentioned it in Victory Lane about how fast you thought your car was today. Do you feel like you guys have made a lot of progress over the last several weeks?
No, like I said earlier, this is just a really good place for us, and so we have got a great baseline here. So this is a track where we can come here and feel good about our setup, our baseline, and everything we got, and be quick. I don't know that the Hendrick guys can say the same thing like that. They haven't been fast here in a while. Obviously, they were better. They were faster this time around. But this was a good chance for us to stack up as good as we can be and as good as they are, and see what happened. And we were right on par with them on a 10 out of 10 scale. If they're a 10 fast, we were a 9.95, or we might have been a 10 and they were 9.95. It was really, really close.
So does it count as a measuring stick this weekend when you go back?
Yeah, it tells you better be better at hitting your setups everywhere else you go. You know what I mean? So we still had a little bit of an issue this week that I kind of feel like we always have. It's just I don't know how to say this without giving it all away. We don't use all four tires as good as we should, and Danny and I have talked about that for a couple of years and kind of complained about that. And I feel like the Hendrick guys have always had the mechanical grip, but now they've also gotten the aero grip, the engine, mechanical. They've got it all. They've got all three parts, and I feel like we're still just a tick off on the mechanical.
Dustin Long.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. A couple questions, Kyle. In a sport where 10 days can seem like a long period of time, it had been nearly 50 days since anybody other than Hendrick had won. What does it mean to, with as much as everybody puts into the sport, to kind of get some sort of validation in a period like this where one team's dominating? What does it mean to get something, to have a day like today?
Well, I mean, we won. We got the victory. It was a fuel mileage race. Granted, I felt like we were fast, but we won it because of a fuel mileage situation with our transmission being what it was. But I have no idea what the front of the race looked like, after we took that final green flag, So was it the 24 car that was out front leading the thing? I mean, who was it? Yeah. So it was a Hendrick car that was going to win, right, or looked poised to have victory without being short on fuel. So I don't know that we necessarily outdid them anyhow. We just were a little better situation than they were. Nobody's going to think the race is going to go green in the end and come and top off their tanks with one to go unless you're in the back. You know what I mean? You're not going to give up that track position. So that's just how it played out.
Also, today, Bubba Wallace finished 5th, first top 10 finish for that organization. I don't know. I think he's in the meetings with you guys, so I don't know how much you talk with him, but he's a guy that certainly we've seen his confidence go up and down at times. What do you think a finish like this, to get a top 5, first top 10 for him and for that team, what that means today for them?
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, anytime you're able to run good, have strong finishes, finish up front like that's going to build your confidence a little bit, tell you that you can do it. Like I said before, though, it's just a matter of getting closer and having you can't always have a perfect race car, but getting closer to that, 10 out of 10 type race car that you can have at the racetrack. That's what's going to give you success, and that's what's going to put you in those positions. So when we talk, yes, he's in our meetings. He's in there all the time, and when we talk and stuff, I mean, especially earlier in the season when they didn't have much communication yet started, he would say, look, I had a 4 out of 10 car today. I had a 6 out of 10 car today, 7, whatever it might have been. So I bet you we get in the meeting tomorrow and he's going to talk highly on his car. So that's going to be a step in the right direction for that bunch for sure.
All right, and we'll head to Kyle as our final question for Kyle.
Kyle, can you talk a little bit about Tony Hirschman's role with Kyle Busch Motorsports? I know he's spotted for you in the Cup Series, but what has he brought for you, for your organization, for the younger drivers that are up and coming?
I mean, he's just a good teacher, a good driver spotter, if you will. Some of these young guys that are coming up through, they don't know no better, you know. So having a spotter up top that has that experience, that has that information, that know-with-all, to be able to tell them, block the run that's on the bottom, or get in front of the guy up top, or pass this guy around the outside, or whatever it might be. Like sometimes the spotter has to drive the truck, car, whatever it might be. So Tony does a good job of that. He lets you know a lot about what's going on behind you, because there's a lot that has to do behind you that helps you go forward these days. So it's just the way the engine packages are and stuff like that. So you know, you're almost looking as much out your rear glass as you are your front glass to make speed these days. So with all that being said, though, no, Tony's a good one, and I've had him for a long time. I feel like when I got him, he was pretty good, like pretty well versed. But I feel like him and we've definitely built a relationship over time that's also transferred over to some of the other guys that he gets to run with. And you know, last year, he's always on the full-time truck of ours on the truck side at KBM. So like this year, he's with John Hunter. I don't remember who he was with last year. He wasn't. Was he with Chandler? I don't remember. He was with William when William was really good. He was with Christopher when Christopher was good. So, you know, he's kind of always that go-to guy, our number one spotter guy for KBM.
All right, Kyle. Well, congratulations on the victory.
Right on.
Thank you. We wish you the best of luck at Road America.
Thanks.